Trenton, a good morning to you. Could you give an
Mhm.
introduction about yourself?
So my name's Trenton. I've been in the real world for around 8 to 12 months now, and everything I've learned from it has helped me build a personal brand, get into sales, get more into crypto. Just all the different parts of the real world campus I've explored, and I've done almost every single business related thing that there is. Real world has helped me advance my skills immensely. So this is a little bit about me.
Okay.
Now I do high ticket sales, and yeah.
So, how did you get into the real world?
So it was, I think, May 2021, and me and my brothers stumbled upon Tate, just random TikToks. He was blowing up. And I was like, who is this guy? And he was like, just this guy with Lambos, Bugattis, super rich. I never really seen something like that before. And it really inspired me to be like, how is this guy doing all this? How is he so popular? And how can I make that level of money? I've never been really exposed to that before. I grew up in a small town.
Hmm.
So I really wanted to learn more about how I can do that. And $50 a month. I mean, I looked at that and I was like, people are like concerned about $50 a month. So I spent the $50 and here we are.
Or okay, so just to try out before you join, what campuses
Mhm.
did you get into, and how has that evolved since in terms of what campuses you went
Yeah.
to, which ones
Mhm.
stuck, and which one made you the most money?
Yeah. So immediately I got into copywriting, and Andrew, the professor, he taught like a really, really good course about copywriting and really sales in general. Because a lot of people don't realize that the copywriting campus has so much to do with sales. The psychology behind it, the wording behind it, all of it has so much to do with sales. And that's helped me in my current business that I do now, which is high ticket sales. That's helped me write emails. That's helped me talk to clients selling $10,000 deals. So that was the basics. And then after copywriting, I didn't really see much success. I mean, I'm sure you are the same way. You've probably tried a million businesses before and then one finally clicks. And that's the same way it was for me. I've gone through so many campuses in the real world, and all of them I've gained knowledge from, and all of them have helped me make money. But after the copywriting campus, I went to drop shipping. Me and my brothers all got into drop shipping. We opened like 9 stores in 2 months, and which obviously like you laugh because it's probably like that was not the right idea. What we should have done is all opened one store and just done just straight that store and just marketed that store and just stuck with one thing. But we were a little stubborn, and we thought we could make it work, and it didn't work. We only made a couple $100, but we kept pushing through. I learned a little bit about crypto, learned a little bit about stocks. And then in October of 2021 or 2022, sorry, I got into the marketing boot camp with Luke and Farhan, a lot of other guys. I started making tons of TikToks every single day. My brother got into it as well. I gained thousands of followers in like 15 days. And that was more achievement than I've ever had in a while. And I was like, whoa, that is like what changed my mind to be like, wow, this is legit. And so from there on, I've just been branching into multiple different spaces within, the whole online money space, beyond the real world, even joining private networks groups, flying to places to meet people. My brother flew to Poland earlier this year to go meet up with some friends that he's made over there, and really just immersing myself more and more in the world of online business. All I'm doing this all while being in the military. So I have a regular job and I work 9 to 5. I mean, the military is kind of crazy. Sometimes I work every day, all day for 2 weeks straight. But I've done all this while being in the military. And that's kind of like the thing I see so many people who are, oh, I don't know if I can do it. Oh, I don't know if I need to put in the work. Like, I'm in the military and I still have made it work. So if I can make it work, a lot of other people can make it work too, you know?
Right, right. And how old are you, if you don't mind revealing?
I just turned 20 2 months ago. So still pretty
Okay.
young.
So you've recently joined the military then?
I joined 2 years ago, like as soon as I got
Okay.
out of high school.
I see. What was the full process behind that? What made you want to join the military?
Yeah, so I was flipping burgers before I joined, and I didn't know much else. So I was just the casual guy going through life. I was like, oh, I can go in the military and do something cool and become like a real man, because I really wanted to join to get the life experience, to get the hardships, and turn myself into the kind of man that I wanted to be. And the military has really helped. Like I wouldn't trade it for the world. But now I'm kind of at the point where it's like, I can't travel the world. I can't go meet up with guys in Dubai because I'm in the military. So at that point, it's kind of disabled me from doing that, but I wouldn't trade it because of the amount of lessons that I've learned. But the thought process really behind that was, let me go and get as strong and as competent of a man as I can be.
Right. And yeah, that's completely fair. It's something you needed at that point in your life, and now you're ready
100%.
to move on. So at some point, you will move on.
Exactly.
And as well, what you were saying about the campuses earlier, going through so many of them, I know they say ideally focus on one, but I'm sure it was still useful for you building up all those skills from going through each one.
Yeah. And
yeah.
yeah. The thing is, you learn from failure. I mean, I'm sure you know as well. I'm sure I've met a ton of other guys who know as well. I know guys who have failed hundreds of times, but then there's just the one thing, and that makes them millions of dollars. And for me, even, I failed drop shipping, but then 6 months later, I started a Twitter brand, grew the Twitter brand using the copywriting techniques. This is kind of crazy. You grew this Twitter brand. Me and my girlfriend helped build it. I taught her how to write well. I taught her how to write captivating tweets, and I learned that from Copywriting Campus. And then when it came time to actually monetize our audience, I had to create an info product. But where could I put that info product on? How could I market it? Well, I could use the knowledge that I got from the ecom campus to build a Shopify store. And then I could use my copywriting skills combined with my ecom skills to make a good landing page, to make something funny. I had a button that said, stay a simp, and I had a button that said, change your life. The stay a simp one went to OnlyFans, and change a life one went to the product. I did all this because I learned that inside the ecom campus. And that store itself ended up making me $1,500 in 2 months. And then on top of that, we started doing coaching calls as well, which made me another $1,000 within that 2 months as well. So, and all of that is thanks to Copywriting Campus and the ecom campus. So joining those and going through those courses, of course, it might not have been the best idea to jump around from thing to thing, but in the end, they paid off.
Right. Yeah. Eventually, you think those are failures initially, but then at some point in future, those skills end up being handy in the thing that blows up for you. So
Exactly.
it's just, a learning process, the whole thing.
Yep.
Now, so you said, okay, building up a Twitter got you income. Has there been anything else that you got into that's gotten you income?
Yeah. So another thing with drop shipping is you meet some suppliers from China, and you have phone numbers, and you have messages that come in from these suppliers, and you know websites to go to get certain products. I started shifting my mindset the past couple months, and this is what really has helped make me a lot more money, is going around and thinking, how do I make money? How does this coffee shop make money? How does this store make money? How does this guy make money who's selling energy drinks off the side of the road? How does he make money? How much money does he make? What's the percentage of return? And so I started looking around and be like, what do people need? And I realized that on base, people vape, the little vapes they smoke. They're like, I hate vapes. I would never vape, but people have these vapes. To go get them, they have to drive all the way off base, which is around 30 minutes. They have to drive all the way back, which costs them gas money, and gas is crazy right now. On top of that, the vapes off base that are near base, the closest vapes, they are overpriced because they know these Marines have to drive off base. So what I thought of is, hey, what if I could be the supplier? A, discount the Marines so they don't have to drive off base and they save a ton of money. B, I can make a ton of money. So I started getting these vapes from AliExpress, from these websites for cheap, $4 or $5, like production price, and then selling them to Marines for $20. Next thing you know, I'm getting a 500-piece order from China, and that 500-piece order is making me $10,000. And the last month, I made $7,000 off vapes alone. And that was literally just because I was in the ecom campus. I knew Chinese suppliers, and I had the mindset from watching Tate, from listening to people on YouTube, from using every single day of my time, investing in myself, investing in knowledge, not watching TikToks. I'm watching informational YouTube videos. I'm investing in courses, investing in the real world. And that has ended up getting me that return of $7,000 this just in July. And then this month I should make around $4,000 or $5,000 just because I'm running out of supply and we're leaving Australia soon. But as soon as I get back to the US, we're going to be doing probably another $10,000, $15,000 with just vapes. That's on top of the sales job I have as well.
Interesting. So
Yeah,
you've sold 500 vapes on base.
so far, yes. Face
Interesting.
to
Okay.
face, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a weird economy because there's some guys who will supply for me. They'll go and sell them for me. And so I can be like, hey, bro, I can give you the vapes for $15 instead of 20, but you have to buy 50 of them. And then you can go sell them for 25 and still make a decent profit. And so then there was one day I made $3,000 in one day because I said, I will give you these vapes for $15 each if you buy them in bulk. And I had like 4 or 5 guys come by in bulk from me, and I made $3,000 in one day. And I was like, whoa, that is
Hmm.
awesome. And of course, you just reinvested in yourself. You reinvested in your business. Through that $3,000, I reinvested it into some private groups. And now I'm on the way to doing a sales job that's going to be making me $3,000 in commission for every single close that I do.
Right. Wow. Did not
Yeah, a
expect to
lot.
hear a story like that. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
very nice creativity from your end, and it's
thank
because
you.
you're exposing yourself to being aware of your surrounding, as you were saying, and
Exactly.
seeing where there's a gap in the market. You found it.
Hmm.
Vapes in a
Yeah.
military base. Who would have thought?
Who knows?
So,
Yeah.
nice. And yeah, making good profit for that.
Yep.
And so that was e-commerce combined with okay, actually let's go on to sales. So how comes you wanted to
Yep.
do a sales job? Where did that idea
So
come from?
I am really big on your performance should reflect on how much money you make. And in most jobs nowadays, most 9 to 5s, that's not how it is at all. That's not how it is in the military. That's not how it is in any regular job. The only place where you can really find that is sales because it's commission based. And so I learned about high ticket sales and how I can literally just cold call hundreds of people a day and make thousands of dollars setting appointments. So I first got into that and I failed a bunch of times, as everybody does. I People wouldn't answer me, people wouldn't message me back. I was sending 2,500 DMs in 2 weeks and I didn't get any messages back, and I was really sad. But then there's no time to be sad. There's only time to go and make money. So I watched a bunch of videos. I invested in a course. I bought a really good book, and I just started learning and becoming a master and a student of sales and becoming a true professional of sales and involving myself in more opportunities with more people, learning as much as I can. And that's led me to where I am now, where now all I do is hop on a Zoom call and I close deals. But these deals are 10, 15, $20,000. And so it's not small. It's a little bit of pressure, but it's good money, and it's really it's very interesting. It's just the way the brain works, the way your tonality changes, the way you talk to people and interact with them. It's really interesting to me, and that's one of the reasons I love sales.
Hmm. So you have a very interesting mindset for a 20-year-old. So where do you
Thank you.
think that comes from?
I think that comes from partially the military, but partially adopting all of the mindset things and lessons that not only Tate, but people like Luke Belmar, Alex Ramosi, Jeremy Minor, some big guys in the space, adopting the best parts of their mindset, adopting mindsets from captains and professors in the real world, and just looking at, hey, I really like this. I really resonate with this. Let me try and incorporate that into my daily life. Let me try and add to my business, add to my everyday work by adding that sort of mindset shift into my life. And really, the more you involve yourself and more you spend time listening to other people and really trying to discern what they are truly saying, the more you'll actually get out of every single day. And the more you'll realize that you're learning every single day. You're not just sitting around watching YouTube videos. You're learning from that YouTube video.
Mm-hmm. Good. And in terms of learning, how different has the material been within the real world from your experience compared to what's out on the internet?
So it's completely different. Anyone who's like, oh, you could just find it on YouTube. Bruv, no, you cannot. Like, sure, you might be able to find some basic guru who can teach you the same thing for $15 instead of $50, but it will not be anywhere near as detailed, organized in one space. You can literally go in the real world campus and look at any lesson, and especially now with the recent updates, with us being transitioning to this new app, it's so seamless. Everything's loaded so fast, and I can just go click, 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 get through courses so fast. I went through the entire new AI course, which I loved. I went through that entire thing in 2 days, and I've been generating some really crazy stuff. I went through that entire course in like a day just because it was just so smooth and easy, and everything's just right there. If I tried to do the same thing on YouTube, it would take days upon days, maybe even weeks to find that level of detail and step-by-step hand-holding that I found inside the real world. And that's with any campus. It's not just the AI campus. It's with all of them.
Right. Okay, so it seems you're very good at managing your time and being hyper-productive because you're in military, you're learning 100%. A sales job while also going through all those lessons within the real world. So what do you say to people who call that excessive, working so much and not giving yourself time to relax?
So you got the time to relax is the time when you're not doing work. So lifting weights, everyone lifts weights, everyone works out. Being in the military, we do so much exercise that it becomes like relaxing when you're not doing military exercise. Like for me, I do boxing 2 to 3 hours every single day with a coach. That is relaxing for me. I get to put down my phone. I get to go and train hard. I get to get a good sweat in, and I get to look amazing from doing it for months and months and months. And that's kind of my relaxation and work-life balance. It can exist when you're trying to do what I want to do, which of course is rich, powerful, freedom, time, location, freedom, pay off my mom's house, pay off my mom's car, make sure my brothers and sisters and family is all taken care of. You don't have time to sit around and veg out. All you have time for is time to work. And there's a recent event that's been going on in the copywriting campus. It's the time management. And it's where you write every single hour of the day and you write out what you're going to do with that hour. And I realized sometimes you have to give up your time in order to make money. There's some sales calls that I have that are at 2 a.m. Australian time because I'm in Australia right now. They're at 2 a.m. Australian time because it's 4 p.m. US time. And I have to wake up at that time to make money and in order to achieve my goals that I want to achieve. There was a call that didn't even make me any money, but it was with a guy who does multiple 6 figures in the agency space. I woke up at 4 a.m., 3 hours before I had to wake up for my military work just to talk to him, because there are opportunities that you have to take and there are things you have to sacrifice in order to get what you really want. And anyone who says that there's not, and you can have a work-life balance and you just have to wait and sit around and, I only have to work 8 hours a day. Like, okay, great. Work your 8 hours a day. Work your 12 hours a day. I'll see you in 3 years. I'll be on a yacht in 3 years. And maybe in 10 years, you'll be in the same place I am. But 10 years from now, I'm going to be leaps and bounds ahead of you. So it really depends on how fast you want to get things done. And the slower you go, the more you risk being poor.
Very good insights. So where do you see your life heading in the short term, medium term, and long term?
So short term, next year or two, all about development of my body, mind, and connections. Really, every weekend that I have off in the military, as soon as I get back to the States, I'll be flying to meet up with friends in Texas, New York, Miami. I'll be even going to Dubai probably later this year around New Year's to meet up with some friends that I have over there that I've met through some networking groups that I'm in. And so the next 2 years or so will just be growing my personal business, growing my sales skills, and really just making that 20, 30, 40, 50K a month, getting to that level. 5 years from now, I want to, of course, mom's house paid off, sister taken care of in college, me and my brothers traveling around the world, doing whatever we want, making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, not having to worry about a mortgage or having to worry about any 9 to 5 job, just being able to be where we want, when we want, flying around on jets, buying whatever cars we want. So that's kind of the goal in 5 years from now, is location and time freedom completely. And 10 years of now, of course, perhaps even a family, perhaps even a tribe of kids, 12, 15 kids with me, my brothers, our 3 wives with 5 kids each, big house, 15 kids, whole basketball team. That'd be pretty sweet. So that's kind of a short, medium, long-term goal.
And then world conquest a long time.
Of course. Yep. 40s, 50s, 60, 70 kids or grandkids. World conquest at that point. Exactly.
Sounds good. You'll have to be competing against the other real world students who are planning on having 20 kids.
Not competing. We'll all be together. Yeah. We'll take over a country.
Yep. Could be. Who knows?
Yep.
With the direction that everyone like yourself is heading, I mean, it's insane how much progress
100%
can be achieved in that time. So who knows?
People might think we're exaggerating. I saw that one guy who made like $200,000 a month with his e-com store from the real world. Yeah, that guy, he's legit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I love that. And now, what kind of an impact has Tate had on you?
He's really helped improve my life, helped improve my brother's life. My brothers are a whole nother story. They were in the freelancing campus. They were in the dropshipping campus. They started flipping stuff, furniture, cars, and now they build their own cars. They build buses that people live in. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but people who live in vans and buses and these like mobile homes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just people live around in these. Yeah, just to travel around and have that location freedom. They buy these vans for around $10,000 and they put furniture in there. They do some woodwork. They sell them for around $50,000 and they make a really good profit. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother business that we've started and got into. I can go into it if you want, but the Tates have helped us started all of that. Me and my brothers had an 8-hour road trip one time. It was last summer, I believe. And not last summer. Yeah, it's last summer. My bad. Last summer we had an 8-hour road trip. All we did was listen to Tate because that's when we first was introduced to him. We listened to podcast upon podcast upon podcast, and we were like, some just came over us, just fire blood just came into us, and we're like, we have to do something about this. Like, we can't keep being poor. And over time, it's just helped evolve my mentality, and really even seeing people like nowadays, there's so many people out there who just want attention. There's so many gurus. There's so many people start with a Z that just want attention and just are out there for clout. And it's like, there are people who are legit and there's people who are just out there for clout. And the Tates throughout all this time have just been there legit trying to help people, help the 200,000 plus people there are inside the real world, and really just bring about a better society and a better level of man,
Mm-hmm. Right. It's nice to see that you're so close with your brothers, so similar to the Tates.
Yeah.
That's always, it's huge because, again, you're not a lone wolf. You combine your time, your work ethic, everything, and it just supercharges progress so much more.
Yeah, they are my superpower. I tell people that all the time. It's funny. We're about a year apart each. So I have 3 brothers. We're all about a year apart. I'm the oldest. And we're all really tall. I'm 6'5". One of my youngest brother is also 6'5". The middle brother is 6'4". So like we walk in anywhere, people are like, we're about to get, something's going down. So they're my superpower though. I love them.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm happy to wrap up here with my final question. For
Hmm.
people who are unsure about joining the real world because maybe they think it could be a scam, what advice would you have to them?
Stop being a brokey. It's $50. I've helped people join the real world who my roommate who's sitting across from me has made over $1,000 from the stocks campus, and I got him in the real world. He didn't completely believe it, and then I got him in, and now he believes it because he's made thousands of dollars. Just stop being a brokey, honestly. That's all I can say.
Okay, fair enough. And now for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
Yeah. On Twitter, Trenton underscore Crouch, TRENTON underscore CROUCH.
Okay, we'll add that to the description of the video.
Perfect.
And Trenton, message me in about 3 months or so. Remind me
Hmm.
to do a follow up because time flies by so
Oh, yeah.
fast. When you're doing all of this, isn't busy with so much work,
Yeah.
everything, then yeah, you don't realize it's been 3 months already. Wow. So just in
Totally,
case I
bro.
forget, message me in 3 months. We'll do the follow up interview,
Mhm.
see how you're doing,
Perfect.
hold you accountable, and yeah, update us on your progress. So
Sounds
until
good.
then, I wish you all the best.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.